to be out. This morning I was like, you know, I'm in the habit of filming. I guess I'm gonna do it. I still don't know if I'm gonna put it up, but you guys aren't gonna believe who I just ran into on the trap line. Joe Holland, the Joe Holland.
What is up, guys? This is awesome being on this channel because this is one of the channels I've subscribed to and follow. So I'm pumped to be on this channel.
So is it Joe Holland Fishing? Is
Yep.
Yeah, and that's pop. You got like 40,000 subscribers.
It's getting there, yeah. I'm all over the board. It's going from fishing to trapping to hunting to building cabins. So
yeah, and you just bought a camp. Just happens to be in this area. And
yeah,
we accidentally ran into each other.
Yeah, it's like probably 10 miles from here, crow flight, and I got set out. And I had like 4 days with no trappers, no sign of any trappers. And then I see a trap. And of course we're trapping the same woods because it's like,
you know,
we're running out of woods. Yeah. You know what I mean? And one of them, I know there's been a trap there for like 50 years, every single year, at least one trap. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going in, I'm like, oh shoot, there's somebody else set up in here. As I was checking by, then I look at it and I'm like, I recognize that trap from YouTube. And I was like, I know that trap because I used it to design a lot of my traps. Because I used your channel to like learn how to make a new martin trap, like a legal one. Yeah. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I've seen that trap before. And I'm like, I know who that is. And I was like, shoot. Not only is there competition, but it's good competition too. I'm not trapping against some newbie or a rookie or somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. Well, I think we'll one night after trapping, we'll throw a bunch of wood in the fire and sit around and tell some trapping stories.
That'd be fun.
We'll record it for the viewers. I think they'd enjoy it.
That'll be cool.
But it's awesome. Like, it's awesome that we cross paths and we're trapping against each other in a way and with each other in a way too. You know, because it's I've done both where I was the last guy in an area that people had trapped for like 30 or 40 years, and it was hard and competitive, and I had to learn the hard way, and competition does make you a million times better. So like even like yesterday, I'm running the line, and as you can see, I got 8 boxes in the back of my truck right now that aren't set, and half the reason those are out is because of you.
Well, guess why these 6 are back here.
And half the reason those are there is because of you. Because yesterday I pulled them because I was like, these are duds. I got to go set up another area. There's other trappers around and stuff like that. So someone showed me a picture on Instagram. You had a whole armful of martin, and I was thinking last night before I went to bed, I thought, you know what? I gotta get a few extra traps out, so I went through those in the back of the truck. So that's good that it's driving us too. Yeah. I'm so pumped to be trapping near someone who's honest and like a real trapper, and someone that I follow on YouTube too, because it's when you don't know like who the other guy is, or you just see a trap near it and you don't know like if he's setting on top of you on purpose or by accident, you know, like I'm more secretive.
Is he mad at me?
Right. Yeah. And if you get like a weird miss, you don't know if it's from the other guy. And I'll tell you a story someday, not today because it's a long story, but I had a guy steal from me. Really? And he robbed my trap line, and ultimately it made me into the trapper that I am today. Yeah. And he was the best trapper I've ever seen, and he taught me a couple lessons. So like you finding my traps this year, it ticked me off so bad because I got lazy like on a bunch because I didn't think there was anybody else trapping, and I had like 2 or 3 buddies that were like, and one of them was Donnie trapping with me, that are like, oh, you don't have to take those precautions, you don't have to worry, you don't have to you don't have to go the extra mile, like that. So like, and then like all of a sudden you're here, and then I found another guy set, and I'm so mad at myself for not setting like I used to. But if I'm trapping around honest people, you're better off, so there's like 2 trains of thought on like if you're gonna flag and stuff. So now like I know you're here, if I see flagging, cool, I'm gonna leave this area, I'm gonna leave it to him, I don't need to, you can't catch half a martin. So so there's 2 trains of thought. And then like if you're trapping against people you don't know, or in the areas people you don't know, then you don't want them knowing where your stuff is, because they'll trap 50 yards behind you.
And then once you get snow on the ground, it doesn't matter.
You're right.
So I followed a guy's trap in this town a few years ago, and there was snow on the ground. I wanted to see if anyone was trapping.
Sure.
What I set up here, that's the other thing too. You could set up and then go for 10 days and there's nobody there, and then all of a sudden someone comes in and sets up. And that had happened, and so I walked in, and he went like in one way, took a hard left, went all the way around this big loop, and came all the way back to where he started, and there's the box sitting there.
Like being sneaky, or
yeah, just trying to hide the trap.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was like, it was like, you know, that's great, but when there's snow on the ground, you can't hide it.
It's just changed a lot. Like when, you know, back when I used to trap, this is my rookie season, getting back into it from 18 years ago, I would set, you know, I'd be 400 or 500, 600 yards in on every set.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I was in a lot better shape and younger, and now I'm a little bit more economical. Yeah, I let them come to me.
We'll talk probably in the future about the efficiency side of it, because I'm running into my traps and I can't be too far away, and I'm just trying to like go to get everything checked in one day. But if you can be more effective per set if you have the time to stop and, you know, spend a little bit of time there.
Yeah.
And find the right spot, set it up right, make sure it's not gonna tip over. You know, like I'll set on a log if it's stable.
Yep.
But I'm not gonna spend the time to wire that box to the log. Yep. So that kind of deal. You just kind of find little things that save you time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been having that mental battle this year on the trap line of the difference between like laziness and efficiency.
Yeah.
You know, like, and like where they cross, and like, because like I'm not a lazy, like I hate laziness. Yeah. But there's also like an efficiency where it's like I want to get 100 sets out. Yeah. You know, and I want to be able to check 100, you know, or 40 a day or whatever, you know. So it's like I got this mental battle going on right now.
But you're piling up some fur.
Yeah, it's starting to. Yeah. I couldn't be happier with the martin catches. We're around 20%.
Yeah, that's spectacular.
It's spectacular. Like it's been a long time since I trapped, and I'm trying to remember, like, did I ever catch 5 martin in a day before? Like, that seems like a lot. And I know there's guys that catch 20 in a day or 10
right. But for us, that's not typical. And the funny thing is, like, I was telling you, like, I've trapped around this general area for like maybe 8 years now, and I've keyed in on this one spot, and you just happened to drop straight onto this spot. And I personally think it's one of the better martin areas in northern Maine.
Well, it's been good, and I appreciate you not getting too upset about me landing in the area, you know. Like if I trapped an area for 8 or 10 years and a guy showed up, and whether he knew what he was doing or not, you get like, oh, this friggin' guy, because it's not a catch and release sport, you know. So I really appreciate you and your attitude, and like the fact that we could sit and talk for an hour on the side of the road, and you know, talk like men and be friends, and you're teaching me stuff already with your traps, and I'm learning as much as I can. So I really appreciate that.
And if you get upset about it, it really just it hurts both of us.
Exactly.
Really. I mean, so you kind of got to just keep enjoying yourself and
and
enjoy, just have fun.
Competitiveness can make you a way better trapper, but if you're like open and honest with another guy and work together, you can be twice the trapper as a competitive trapper too. So there's ways to be better, you know. And like if you were the only guy out here, you'd be lazy.
Oh, absolutely.
If I was the only guy out here, I'd be lazy.
And maybe I'd feel entitled, and then when someone came, I'd be even more upset. So the other cool thing, I don't know if we caught it when that glitch, my GoPro glitched out, but we pulled up our phones and pulled up OnX, and we have all our waypoints, and we're like matching them up so we could see where we want to go, where one of us could go where the other one's not going to go, or vice versa. And so, you know, we're still going to overlap, but like there's a spot I'd planned to go, and I showed Joe, and he's like, no, I'm not going that direction. So I'm like, all right, that made my decision, you know.
Wide open. And then there's a couple we're overlapping. There's one you were thinking about
setting. Yeah, and I'm not going to bother to go there, because you probably caught a couple martin up there already anyway.
Yeah.
So
one thing that's just an amazing tool that's changed since I used to trap are like the OnX or whatever app you use.
Oh God, you could look at the imagery and make a lot of decisions without having to go.
I do. Like I lay in bed at night, and I just can't sleep because I got traps out. But I'll lay there, and to ease my mind, I'm literally setting traps in my head.
Right.
I'm like, okay, and then, but the cool thing, like you mentioned it earlier, is like getting into that core habitat. Like we might not be able to get into that because there's streams or there's no roads going to it. But like you could literally find travel ways.
Yeah. All right, wrap it up. I'm gonna go by your cabin there and pick up that beaver.
It was 40 pounds that way.
Yeah. So the nice thing is that having a guy around here, I said, geez, I was running out of bait, and I said there's a beaver in the ditch on this road, and I was like, man, if I catch this tonight, it's gonna be 5 days and people are gonna drive by it. So I asked Joe if he'd pick it up and he took it home for me.
Yeah, I got a video of when I got it, like reset. I didn't skin it for you because I didn't know like how you wanted it skinned or anything like that. So it's just hanging there, you know. But yeah, there's a beaver there for you, and there's a nice hot camp. There's wood in the wood stove. Go in, get warmed up, make a pot of coffee if you want. Hopefully we get a chance to do like, we'll ask your viewers if you guys want to see like a collaboration, maybe where Jeremiah rides on my line one day, maybe I ride on his, or maybe we just get together and set some traps. If you guys want to see something like that, let them know in the comments, and we'll consider it. Otherwise, it's going to be fun trapping like in the same area as you.
Yeah, right on. Thanks, Joe.